let's look at the daily chart because I want to give you some general ideas here. Because the general chart, look at that. It's a nice winner here on the long side. I mean, does anybody see that we're turning the corner here? But how far we're going to go? Well, the idea of how far we can go is probably be right to about, right to about here, this area right here. Again, you're looking for, well, we're probably at that area right now, aren't we? I would be looking for some sort of a pause here, but we'll see what happens. But I would have taken some of my profit right in this area, looking for an obvious place. Here's another reason. Here's an accumulation. It even works on this. Remember, I told you about the compass. Here's a small accumulation. Pin here, pencil here, swing down. You would have been right at the place where it. So it's got to be a sideways accumulation. I think you can really have fun with that if you use it. Okay, so fun and profit. So this is a market that that from a daily basis is has been going short. What I love about the currencies is they tend to, it's like the bonds, same kind of thing, and of course they're kind of related, right? Currency and interest rates, but they tend to, when they decide on a direction, they have a lot of leg to it. But look at this. I mean, we had higher high here, a triple top, descending RSI, so we're losing momentum. We're trying to push higher. Boom, failure right here into. This is not one of my signals, incidentally, but if you misinterpreted it, you wouldn't make money. So even my misinterpreted signals are making money today. Okay. The euro dollar is very, very exciting. And look at what I'm talking about when you look at the 5 minute. Once it takes, you see this sideways. Okay, we have sideways. Pin here, pencil here. No wonder this market descended the way it did. Okay, and there may be more to go, but who knows? We seem to have a nice high movement here. Watch your measure here because this is a Ninja Trader, which if you're using Apex and you want that discount code, remember to write me. But if you're using Apex, the way they seem to, maybe I don't know how to use them. I'm still learning it. When you use Ninja Trader, and I'm still learning how to use it. Maybe you can. This is not 80%. This is not overbought here. This is only 50%. It looks like. So they expanded as the market's going up. So you got to watch your measure by the number. But this is still a 50-50 deal in the RSI. My guess, my educated guess, is that we are going to have an issue right here. Okay, and the issue right here is based on this. Based on this, you see there's a lot of investment on the short side here and on the long side here. I mean, this is an area where I think we're going to, if we ever get there, resistance. So again, these markets tend to, currency markets during the day and long term tend to trend. They tend to trend, and so you can judge some of your position sizing on that. Here's a beautiful scalp signal that you got on the 5 minute. I'm going to show you the 2 minute because a lot of traders, I very seldom trade the 2, but a lot of traders trade the 2. Here's an interesting signal right here. Here's a losing signal right here, followed by a winning signal. Here's one that got the scalp. Here's the signal, right? Small, big through the 8, got the scalp. Small, it's not small enough for me, but if you would have taken it, you may have gotten the scalp. Here's a losing trade because your scalp would have been taken up here, but here's a winning trade. So don't be discouraged with losers. If you're doing it correctly, okay, I don't care. I read these testimonials or these, I call them gurus that sell holy grails. There's no such thing as 98% winners, or I just got 18 trades in a row, and I say bull on that. Either that or you're the luckiest. All I know is that you're due for a loser. If I hear that, it's like the person who flips a coin 10 times and 9 of them it's heads. They gotta say, oh, it's gonna be head. It's got to be a tail. It's got to be a tail. No, it doesn't. It's 50-50 every time. So stay in control. Okay, control yourself. Control yourself. Test your system. Have one that works. Have somebody like me that can coach you through it at a reasonable price. And here it is. I mean, on the loaded gun right now, I'm offering 90 days of one-on-one coaching with me. One-on-one coaching, as many sessions as you want for the first 90 days, just so that you understand this simple trading plan. It is as simple as I'm making it out to be. Sure, there are rules and so on, but it's not. I'm not making you take out a calculator. I'm showing you stuff that are visible and are easy. And once you keep doing it, you won't have to learn it anymore. Okay. So, but here's a beautiful signal that it's nice short risk, small risk. Okay. And you know, a lot of people would say, hey, why don't you put your stop up here? No, I go with what I've tested. This is my formation. I put my stop above the formation. Now, and if it's 1 or 2 ticks, okay, but I'm not going to lose this money because you tell me I should do it. I do it my way. And what is my way? It's my tested way. It should be your way too. It shouldn't be my way. It should be my guidance. You're testing your way. Okay. You're like Sinatra. Think Sinatra. Here's another losing position. Now this is not a loser because it's see how this is straddling the 8. Okay. Has a little more credence because it's below, but I don't take a signal like this. Okay. Because it's not pure. I like purity. Okay. And like this, small body, can't get any smaller, nice movement through the 8, taking out all of these nice highs. Yes, we have some possibility of hesitation here, which you did get it with this candle, and in fact, this entire accumulation here. But I have my stop down here. I did get my scalp here, and look, I was knocked out here on this. This would have knocked me out at break even because I moved my stop to break even. I would have been knocked out either here or here. And I'm okay with that. You know, I think you have to think one of the things that big money does is they're philanthropists. And when I let somebody else have the rest of the money because I got stopped out at break even, I'm a philanthropist. That's the way I think about it. I've given you the lead. Now go ahead and take your share of the money. Listen, I got my share on the scalp. You take your share. Okay. So this is telling me not much of anything except for I would be looking to cross. I would be looking for a body like this. And there are a couple of triggers that I'd like you to know about. A few of my, and this is only one that I'm dealing with here for you. But when you see a series of small bodies right here, if we can end right here and then have a nice body before on the downside, and maybe it's going to be this body. Let's wait. We only have a minute left. And we see that body end down here. We have a nice movement. Well, it didn't happen. Not big enough, so we're still doing nothing. But here, if we get a nice body down here, and we still have enough distance to this major resistance area or support area for this market, but resisting our trade. If we end in here, especially taking out the low, I would take a short trade here, and look to not only take a short scalp, but maybe come all the way even down here. It's not a big trade. It would be a 2-positioner. And one of the reasons I also like it is I've got a high here with this RSI. I got a new high here with a lower RSI. So I'm looking to go short. Now, some may say, well, why don't you just go short? You got enough indication? No, I don't. Because I haven't tested what you're telling me to do. If you haven't tested it, don't do it. Okay? Don't do it because it looks good. I mean, how many how many times have you gone on a date because you saw somebody look good and it wound up to be the worst decision you ever made? So you got to talk to them first. You have to see if they're nice inside, if they're beautiful on the outside or handsome on the outside than they are on the inside as they're on the outside. Then accept the dinner date. Okay? Talk to them a little on the phone. So don't take it because it looks good. Don't take it because it looks good. Take it because you've tested it. Okay? You've tested it. And so far, there's nothing that I've tested that makes sense here. But I'd be looking for a short trade here. And this is the euro dollar. Sometimes I don't even know the market I'm looking at because it doesn't matter. This works on Tesla. It works on stocks. It works on Bitcoin. My latest testimonials was a young trader. I'm going to call him young because I think he's only 30 years old tops. But he trades Bitcoin and he uses loaded gun. This system that I'm talking about, I've given you kind of a little tiny, a 5% preview to. He can't believe how well it's working on Bitcoin. I said, it's a chart. It's a chart. It's telling me what people are doing. And that's all I'm asking you to do, to look at it. Okay. Tony is having some tech issues. She's trying to log in now. Just let me know, okay? Or is that a past? Oh, that's to everyone. Just to,
someone asked again when Tony was coming.
Oh, I see. No. Okay, you're not dissing me. You're not saying
no.
Okay, all right. You're not doing your usual diss.
No, I appreciate you.
Now
extra time.
This is turned to appreciation. I appreciate that. That's good. But listen, David and I have done a lot of stuff together because, you know, when you find somebody that you can trust in the business, not only as a good trader, but somebody that actually is true to their word, you don't let them go. So I'm just kidding around with you. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see what happened with the NQ. I think we were watching. Oh, here was that NQ I talked about. All right. Now I want to talk. You know, I would have taken you would have had your scalp here in our measurement. But look at this. But I still would have been short. Okay. Here is the short trade here, and we talked about the descending RSI, even though we had a higher price. And boy, this second position may be a bigger move than we thought. So let's see what happens here. But it's nice to be live and have something that actually worked out. Because usually there, you know, I show you the losers. You say, doesn't this guy ever have a winning trade? All right. I'm seeing 17. Anybody have any chart they'd like me to look at? Let's see what is the symbol for? I went through the crude market, but there's another symbol. Oh, I guess natural gas. Would it be NG? Because that's a market a lot of people are watching. NG, we used to say that means no good. I'm not seeing anybody know the symbol for natural gas. Well, CL is the actual gas. We can look at that again if you'd like. That's CL. That's crude oil. How do you set up? Okay, here's the crude oil. Here's the well, you know, how do I set up? I'm old school. I'm looking at, you know, if I open the chart right here and I say, what am I going to do? This is the 5-minute chart. I'm saying, wow, we got a lot of accumulation here. Okay. Whichever direction this goes, it's probably going to have some legs. Why? Because sideways movement means that you're accumulating interest on both sides of the market. When you break one way or the other, especially when you have false breakouts like this, that you're going to have a big movement in the other direction. You see it after reports. You see it all the time. But so I'm looking at this area, of course, as being a top. Markets tend to move in waves. You're seeing the waves here. This would have been concerning, this area here. Probably would have taken most of my profit in this area, but then it started a new leg. But I'm not actually, in my particular system, I'm not seeing a shorting signal that is clear enough for me to have taken. And there's no short or long. So if I was interested in this market, I would go, this is the 5-minute time frame. I would go to another time frame. Let's look at what the 10 looks like. I like the 10 because it gives me some time between closing bars. This is this, and this is what I'm talking about. It uncovers a particular signal. Here's another signal that's uncovered on the short side. So there's really not much. Let's look at the 2-minute, because I don't think many people trade the 10. Again, this is the crude oil on the 10-minute chart. We had so many signals in this yesterday, but I just don't see any valid signals that I like. I like a small body with a movement strongly through there. Let me see. Yes, this, you know, now a tie goes to the runner, so I usually don't take it. Okay, let's see. That's hopefully you don't see that. All right, we are. You know, this market looks lower to me. I know everybody's looking for a, let's look at the daily chart again, because everybody's looking for a move higher based on what they're seeing here. And I would be too. I mean, in general terms, you've got a huge tail here that checks another series of tails on the wrong side of a short trade. So this market wants to go higher. It doesn't mean it will go higher. But here's my signal to have gone long, and so I would have been long in this with a small. Again, this is a large. You know, you got to watch your risk here, but I'd be sticking with the long and see what happens. And you know what, anything can happen in this market from day to day. But here was a short signal that was taken. Very nice. Again, small movement, a small body, strong movement through the 8. This is the 8 I'm using here, yeah. RSI, and then shorting at the close of this candle. If you see no decision, strong decision through the 8, this is a short position. Look at this, beautiful. And this is an area people ask me. This is one place that I talk about taking profits. Here's one rule that that I think most traders replace with their dream. When the further the market moves away from the moving average that you're following, in this particular case, it's the 8. We used to call the 8 the golden average. There's a couple of them, a few of them that I'd like to talk to you about at some future date that compete with this in certain situations and in different markets if you've tested them. But this is the 8 here in the crude oil. And but when the further a market moves from a moving average of any really moving average that you're using, the more it's going to tend to snap back, right? Because, I mean, it's only logical if you think about it, because in the end, it's an average of the last 8 bars, and it's going to go back to the average at some point, okay? I mean, that point may be much further down, but there's a lot of reasons to believe that as we're testing this, and we came all the way down, and then we started to go back up, this would be a place to take your profit on this short trade. Why? Because of what I just said. You're very far away from the moving average. So you're looking for a place to take it before it snaps back. God is giving you direction here. He's saying, if you're challenging these tails, this would be an excellent area, okay? Because apparently there's a lot of people that don't want it to go below here. And as soon as it took everybody, and then you've got all the new traders that are shorting if it breaks here. So they all shorted right in here, and they all got killed almost instantly. Not killed, but took their loss almost instantly. And they probably wrote it up for a while, because this looks like a pretty quick move. It's a daily chart. So so what I'm saying to you is there's a lot of reason to believe that that this will prevail on the long side. Okay, even though the next bar is not giving you what you want on the long side, but the fact that you have another one of my signals, small body movement through the 8 on the long side after it tested the bar, boy, it's got a good chance of going higher. But again, don't put all your marbles in one thing. I've been so wrong on things that look so perfect. Don't do that. Stick with, again, think big, trade small. But here's what
okay, I think Tony might be here now.
Okay, let me.
Well, she's okay. Audio's connecting.
I'm gonna.
Tony, are you there?
Yeah, you guys all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm running out of steam here, Tony.
I know. I'm sorry there, Norman.
Hey, I sent you one of my. I don't know if you got the email. I don't know if you even check Skype anymore, but I sent you one of my recent papers I wanted you to comment on. So if you get a chance to look at that, I'd really like it. I don't ask many people, but I asked you.
Oh, thank you. No, I'm not on Skype much, but
actually, I think I sent it to your email. So yeah,
okay.
Check it out. If not, I'll resend it. But I really like your opinion on it.
All right, cool. I'll do that.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, Norman.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you
for filling the extra time. Appreciate it. All right, so that was Norman Hallett of The Disciplined Trader. So now we have Tony Hansen of TonyHansen.com, and let me